August 28th last year was Huskers played Illinois' first football game. So I remember driving out to the farm, listening to the pregame deal. After probably like 10 in the morning that day for the next 2.5 weeks, I don't remember anything.
About 6, I heard my phone going off, and I thought, boy, that's not good. And it was in the bedroom, so I went to the bedroom and got my phone, and it was my father. And I really thought, man, this is not good. I answered it. He said, "Where's Cole?" I said, I don't know. Why, what's up?
I was going to check a trail camera, so I took a four-wheeler, and this is something I've done no less than probably 400 times, just all around the farm everywhere, and so I didn't think anything of it. So I went back this way and went over that cattle guard, and it didn't go great.
He says, well, I got the fire chief from the Redwood Western calling me. They're pinging his phone, they're trying to find him, they can't find him. And I'm like, I'm on the way.
I rolled somehow perfectly straight, which over here is just the pasture. So I was totally fine over there compared to going this way. We think I rolled around noon on Saturday, August 28th, and I was found about 6:30 in the morning, Sunday morning, August 29th. I was found by a guy I went to high school with. I hadn't seen him for a while. They were coming through the pasture because this road that we're on does connect county roads. So if you don't know any better, it does look like a county road. It's private land, but we didn't really care in this particular situation.
The ambulance, they couldn't find him. Nobody could find him, so they put him in a blanket and carried him the best they could to the pickup. They knew they probably hurt him worse, but they did it. And they got to the ER, and by the time they got to the ER, all Cole could do was moan. They said that they kind of lost him off and on the way, but they got him there. So I knew it wasn't good. I didn't know if we were going to lose him still at that point. He was cold to the touch, as they were trying to make sure that, we kind of had a timeline so they would know how long he was outside. I mean, we're guessing 16, 18 hours. A nurse came in from being with Cole and said, when was the last time you saw your son?
Everybody at McCook thought I was dead. They did not think I would survive. And because I have a friend that works there, and when I got back to McCook, first time I saw her, she said that they all thought, everyone that was there thought you were going to die, flying to Lincoln.
He got off the vent, he was breathing on his own, but not necessarily, he still was out, I guess. And he had, feeding tube and all this other, just tubes everywhere, basically.
So he had 24-hour a day, he had somebody laying next to his bed holding on to his hand because his hand was violent, trying to rip IVs out.
And there was a day where he literally just screamed at me because he didn't know who I was, and that was awful. And he didn't know who Mom was, so that was really hard.
But he just couldn't quite comprehend who we were, and that was hard on me.
He was kind of fun. Yeah, I was laughing. He was fairly hilarious, but she was crying. And
but one of the funniest things was he was still in and out a lot, but pretty much couldn't open his eyes and talk yet. And one of the first things he did was he looked up, peeked an eye open, flipped me off across the room. And it was hilarious. Sorry, Cole, I shouldn't be saying this at a church thing, but it was really funny. And I was actually the one in the room when he first spoke after. I told him Mom and Dad were outside, and he opened his eyes and said Mom and Dad outside. And I freaked out and sprinted out of the room and went and told Mom and Dad. Then we got busted by this lady named Heather because you weren't supposed to have 3 people in there, and we snuck in.
When he started waking up, I kept asking him every day, do you know who I am? And I'd pull my mask down, and he'd look at me and, well, you look like my mom, but you look older, is what he would tell me. And I'm like, well, you've aged me, thank you to this.
I just didn't understand why I was there, and then I thought and wondered, okay, why does everything hurt worse than I've ever hurt before? I broke my fibula in my right leg, I broke 4 ribs, I broke my left scapula, I broke my left clavicle in my shoulder, I ruptured my spleen, I ruptured both lungs, I had 2 vertebrae fractures in my spine, and I had a traumatic brain injury. It wasn't great for Sleeping was hard.
There was just a lot of different like milestones of, is he gonna make it? Oh, he's gonna make it. Okay, will he still be my brother? Because his brain is like not, it's just not the same. But we kept making little steps.
The last week in Lincoln was just physical therapy, and man, it hurt so bad. But I wanted to get back. I wanted to see my dog. He was the first thing I wanted to see. And then I wanted to be able to hunt that year, and they all said it wasn't possible, but I did. I didn't ever really wonder why it was me. I was actually pretty grateful it was me, because I knew I could handle it, and obviously God knew I could handle it. That's why he gave it to me, not somebody else, and I'm glad he did that.
Seeing my parents, because I don't think I saw a single point in time where they were not trusting in God. Like, every single time they'd be like, God got it, like, he can do it. Like, my parents never lost their confidence in God, which was just awesome, because I struggled with it for sure.
God's just reassured. I mean, we knew how good he was, but we've never had anything to test our faith like this, maybe.
Really shows the grace of God. Like, he obviously had a purpose for my brother on this earth if he kept him here, because I'm sorry, he should have been dead. Like, every single part about that, he should not be here, but he is.
It never hit me until one day I was actually rifle deer hunting, and I just stopped about right here. I got out where I laid, a couple feet back there. I just stood there, and for some reason, I don't know why, I just started bawling, like hard, ugly crying. And for probably 5-10 minutes, once it was done, I mean, there was some weight that just lifted. I didn't even know I was carrying it, but that weight was gone, and that's when it hit me that I realized that I should have died right there, and I didn't.
Today is exactly 1 year from his accident, and we're calling this Celebration Sunday. What are you guys celebrating?
That he's here. How lucky we were.
God blessed me in ways I didn't even know that he was doing. Like, my whole mindset changed. Like, I don't have bad days now. I don't have problems, because I'll have setbacks. I mean, I'll have down days, but I don't have bad days, because I had a lot of bad days when I was laying here, when I was in Lincoln. Those were bad days. I think God gave me a second chance to really build my faith stronger, and so that's what I'm really trying to focus on now, is just figure out what I want to do, what I can do for, other people and whatnot, and just realizing that there's only so much I can do. I can control certain things, but there's a lot I can't control. And just relieving that and just praying about that and just asking God, like, hey, can you help me here? And he did, on all of it.